Hello there Star Wars fans, and welcome to today's video on the wonderful Misty Rosas. She is an extremely talented stunt and performance actress who's best known for her roles as Quill and the Frog Lady in the Mandalorian series. I actually got the chance to meet with Misty this year at London Comic Con. She shared some stories with me that now I would like to share with you. Misty told me that the Frog Princess was her favorite character, acting in scenes alongside Jack Black and Lizzo. I'll give you the reason she gave me later in the video. Like Quill, she actually portrays two more Ugnaughts in the show, even getting to dip her toes in villainy as the pirate coxswain to Gorian Shard. One thing I should point out is that Coxswain isn't the character's name, instead it's a title given to the one in charge of steering the ship. The third Ugnaught Misty has played so far is Saphir. She was playing double duty on this episode, directed by Bryce Dallas Howard. Not only was Misty an uncredited frog princess, her character Saphir was also the head smith or mechanic of the Ugnaught labor force who worked on the battle droids of Plazir 15. Finally, from the Mandalorian series, so far that is, was another iconic part of the show where Misty portrays a Snivian bartender who works at a New Republic outpost. There were many big names to the Star Wars franchise in this short but important scene. She stands alongside Dave Filoni, Deborah Chow, Rick Famuyiwa, Paul Sun-Hyang Lee, and of course Steve Blum, who reportedly performed the motion capture for Zeb on set. It's safe to say that I am seriously jealous of Misty Rosas and all of the people she's worked with during her career. Switching topics slightly, let's dig into that career right after this clip of her describing a bit about bringing Quill to life.
Puppeteer that triggers when the talking happens, and then I have another puppeteer that is doing the eyebrows. I would do my best to try to give them physical cues so that they know when I would want to say a certain line.
It hasn't grown much.
Nick Nolte, who voices a character, would do 2 to 3 takes, varying the way he would read a line, and I'd go through it and listen and listen and listen, and it was imperative, to have that, to really be able to embody the whole character simultaneously.
Misty's no stranger to performance in costume, not to mention doing some pretty scary stunts while wearing those costumes. This footage of her wire work as a demon in the movie Room 6 definitely shows off her athleticism. I was legit scared that she was going to crash into the wall here. It also looks a lot like when the Frog Lady is running away with Mando. I forgot to ask her, but I would assume they did the wire work again for real in The Mandalorian. Nobody but Misty could go head to head with Andy Serkis when it comes to their expertise and performance as great apes. From what I have read, Misty got her start in Hollywood by performing as Amy the Gorilla in a really cute movie called Congo, released in 1995. Only 4 years after that, Misty was at least one more gorilla in the film Instinct alongside Sir Anthony Hopkins. Since then, she did stunts and motion capture for baboons that appear in the Hunger Games Catching Fire. Misty Rosas, Lateef Crowder, and Brendan Wayne were a great bunch of people to meet when I was at Comic-Con. I actually had the chance to talk with them for pretty close to like a half an hour, probably longer, between the three of them. So that was really nice. And going back to why she chose the Frog Princess as her favorite character, well, it's because she got to play with so many other actors in costume at the dinner table scene and at the other scenes alongside Jack Black, Lizzo, and even Christopher Lloyd. She told me a story of when she gained a lot of respect for Jack Black because he actually stuck up for all of the costumed actors that were working there, saying that it was too hot for them on set and that they needed to crank up the AC, make sure everyone was getting enough breaks, because working in costume has got to be like one of the sweatiest and most confining things you could really put yourself into. Misty's favorite scene, on the other hand, wasn't with the Frog Princess, it was actually with Quill, the first time he met Mando, and that was the first time she worked with Brendan Wayne. Her reason for picking that scene is because it's the first scene, and it really is the one that made her feel like it was real. Now she's in Star Wars, plus it was the time she met Brendan Wayne, who is now a good friend of hers. Same with Lateef. You can tell that they travel around and really enjoy doing these conventions. Misty has not only been acting in horror and sci-fi projects, she's also been extremely busy doing motion capture work for Sid the Science Kid and as a panda named Lulu for the show Word Party. Gymnastics and dancing are likely her strong suit, even talking about having been an elite gymnast at the national level before. More recently, she's been teaching yoga professionally on the side as a way to give back to the community. Some extra info I've gathered in this video actually comes from an interview she did with another channel called the SSW Network. Go check it out after this video to learn a lot more. Another thing I asked Misty was, what was your favorite scene as the Frog Lady? Because that was a huge episode for her, and it had to be the last scene where she meets her husband finally, and they embrace, they get to run up to each other, and it's a cute scene. I can tell why she likes it so much, just because I like it so much. It's really like, you don't really get to see normal people in the Star Wars universe, and she's really played a few of them now, that she's bringing Star Wars to life in a way that most people can't. The last question I asked Misty I think was funny and caught her a little bit off guard, and I asked whether she had a love-hate relationship with Grogu after what he had done to the Frog Lady's offspring, which was, you know, eating the eggs while it was still eating her eggs before they'd been fertilized, I guess is what I mean. Basically eating her future children. And she gave a really cute answer saying that she could never hate Grogu, and she does not have a love/hate relationship with him because she knows he's just a baby and he didn't know what he was doing was wrong, and she forgives him in the show and especially in real life. Finally, I'd like to plug Misty's YouTube channel, where you can find her original music as well as an award-winning music video for her song Panic Button. I've been jamming out to some of her songs while editing this video, and I really like the Panic Button. Lateef Crowder, who I should mention does the stunts for Din Djarin, also put me onto this website where you can buy some merch based on these three's characters. With the tops you can buy for Misty saying "Feeling Froggy" with a picture of the Frog Lady on it. There's also Lateef's hair sticking out of Mando's helmet for his design, and of course Brendan Wayne as a cowboy version of Mando for his. Don't worry, I am not being sponsored, I just think these might be good gifts for the upcoming holiday season. I know I want the whole set after meeting them. So, London Comic Con was a huge success. I got to meet Lou Ferrigno, Lateef Crowder, Brendan Wayne, and of course, Misty Rosas. So, this thing behind me on the wall is my new prized possession. I got the three of them to sign this here. In the center of the picture is Misty's, and then Brendan, and then Lateef's autograph right there. I eventually want to fill this thing up with as many people from the show as I can. And I could almost put Misty up there 6 times, right? So how many people get to say they've been 6 different characters in Star Wars? That's pretty special. And this whole video is just kind of like a big thank you and subscribe or whatever.
He doesn't seem to take a hint, this guy.